And here we are, loaded onto the Rift. Back in not pretty standard openings for everybody in their item build. Early ward coming out from Katajo though on that Morgana. Probably gonna get some deep wards, don't you think, Tate?
Yeah, usually though you see supports go into the utility tree when they pick up that early ward, but he's still only sitting on health pots. So he must have gone a bit more aggressive and went into the offensive tree a bit deeper. Maybe going to be going for that early hourglass to really change the tides of a fight with her ult.
Yeah, I guess not very many points going into the utility for Katajo on that Morgana. But it looks like VK is sitting precariously up in their top jungle. Quite an unusual spot to actually just camp up. Meanwhile, Sid is going to spread across all entrances of their own jungle, making sure they can see any invades before they happen. Nice defensive warding coming in from VK though as well. And just like that, they are going to spread out.
Yeah, nothing much happening level 1 this time. Very odd. They must have been expecting a blue counter with the Nunu, but it looks like young Gucci will just be taking it safe. Might go for that red, especially since they're not warding the red up on the VK side.
Now, I also, speaking of not so interesting starts, I'm just looking at this Galio. He does start Dorn's Ring and Mana. So probably going to be farming with this Q, but going to be lacking the sustain that Oriana's going to be poking him out. So we'll just have to see how healthy he can. Nice binding from Katajo onto RZ already, right through the minions. Again, a really comfort pick for Katao on that Morgana.
Well, as long as Galio levels up his W second, he actually has a surprising amount of healing built in to his kit. So we'll see if that's what he goes with.
Oh, the bindings from Katajo down in the bot lane have been absolutely real already. Just weaving it through the minion wave. RC is definitely not expecting that. But Isaac pushing young Pandog underneath his tower. It should be fine for him. Darius is going to be able to farm under turret quite well. Thanks to that bleed. But there's that CS advantage that you've been looking at already, starting to build for Baylife in the mid lane. Everything's just starting off. Actually, young Gucci has cleared his jungle a lot faster than Happy on that Trundle. That's a little interesting. Trundle actually starting red instead of the Krugs, going on to Raptors, while young Gucci has already cleared his entire jungle, making his way up, but gets spotted by a ward. Thankfully, Isaac was able to ward that just in time, smelling a gank. Harassing young Pandog underneath this turret too, but he is overextending. Young Gucci is going to try to make his way up top again through the river. Knows only that the try is warded, and comes the gank. Ice Blast coming for Isaac, but the claw does finish. Isaac is going to be quite safe. Dropping quite low though. Still has some health pots though to heal up and stay in lane.
We can see Galio is actually already running and he's chugged both mana pots, so that early investment might not be working out as well for him as he thought, because he's going to be starting to lose health now, and with no mana to sustain his farming, it could become a rough lane.
Yeah, he was, kind of relying on farming with his spells, but without like an early Athenes or that mana regen, he is going to be a little bit in trouble there, and I can only assume that that farm advantage for Baylife is only going to increase. Now, the Happy actually went back, finishes his jungling item, whereas Young Gucci has yet to go back. It's just Happy just re-clearing his jungle, making his way down to the bot lane actually, going to hit up that
Oh,
scuttle.
he's posturing for an early dragon, actually. Oh, nope. Just going for the gank.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know how much this is going to accomplish. Young Hundreds has definitely been a little bit passive onto that Thresh. No attempts to trade with the Lucian Morgana. I guess kind of giving Katajo respect with that Black Shield.
But honestly, he's giving Vayne a safer lane. The CS is very, very even if Erzi can get most of this wave here. And that's all they really want. If they can get Vayne out of the laning phase, and even in farm, it could be a good jump into the late game for them.
But as I say that, yeah, Young Hunter is going aggressive on there. Black Shield already posted up. Nice Lantern into Young Gucci, but the binding from Katajo will stop all that aggression. Nice play on Levon Jack, forced to flash as exhaust is dropped on both ADCs. And all the meanwhile, Happy was there for the counter engage if they ended up going a little deeper. But nice disengage coming out from VK. Meanwhile, top lane Ice Tomb onto Young Pandog as Isaac's going to trade Claw, will hit, and is going to pick up the kill. And it looks like the nerf onto Lissandra's Q still... It wasn't as much as I was expecting. Still able to have that dueling potential.
I'm surprised Darius didn't ulti there. He was right in lethal range.
Meanwhile, Happy is going to be at the bot lane. Nice bite. Actually zones himself up with his own Pillar of Filth. And wow, Erzi is able to get away with a flash. Big mistake coming out from Happy. Actually puts a Pillar of Filth in between himself and Erzi, giving up an easy kill. So by the looks of it, both ADCs getting a gank each. No more health pots coming from them, so it looks like it's going to be whoever gets caught out. As you said, this does rely a lot on the supports. The binding or the hook will mean death for both these fragile ADCs. Thankfully, both ADCs are very mobile in their own right, so that should help them. But that CS advantage that you had mentioned earlier with the Orianna Galio matchup staying strong. Theme's now finished, but it looks like Sid is going for an early dragon. Baylife sniffs it out though, is able to drop a ward in the pit, and they are caught out. Versailles is going to try to poke him out, but he's that Galio is and this dueling potential not looking good, but it looks like Pandog has roamed down. Will help secure, will zone out Baylife and help secure the first dragon going over to Sid.
They might lose top turret off that though. No telly on Darius, and big wave on that tower could mean the first tower of the game to VK.
Yeah, which will be a nice trade. Regardless, Pandog is going to lose out on that wave of CS. Which is going to just increase Isaac's lead onto that. And yeah, the tower is going to go... Oh, not quite. Oh, but with the next wave right around the corner, he is going to easily get that tower. With Isaac. Nice pull landing. Pandog actually catches him. Ice Tomb on Pandog to stop his aggression. With pull down, Isaac should be able to get out of this scot-free. And he does. Unfortunately not able to finish out that tower, but it is low enough that one or two more auto attack should take it down. Now I'm really surprised considering all things. Young Gucci actually picks up poachers. Not a jungling item that you see every day. Nunu is known for counter jungling, but with the warding coming out from VK, I doubt that he's going to get anything done with that. We'll just have to see what happens with that, but a nice gank coming out from Young Gucci. Unfortunately, they sniff it out. Again, the warding from for VK's bot lane has been on point, able to spot out
Do
Any
you
ganks
know
coming?
if Scuttle procs the poacher's knife?
I don't think so. I think Scuttle counts as a neutral monster like Dragon or Baron. Um, but that's actually an interesting question. Hmm. Might need to do some research on that. Again, poacher's knife is not something that you see every day. Um, so that's interesting. But meanwhile, both ADCs have picked up their big, kind of the pre-big item. Cutlass now finished onto Vayne. BF Sword finished on that on Leaf Block's Jushin. But meanwhile, top lane, a nice gank coming out from Happy. Ice Tomb will seal the deal. Another kill going on to Isaac. 2-0 in lane now.
And that's not what you want to see, especially as a Vayne. You get caught up by an ice tomb that's hitting like a truck, it's gonna basically be certain death for you right now.
One of the big things too. Oh, nice binding coming out on Ursi, and Lemon Jack is going to Culling. Nice Lantern will save his ADC though. And as you said, you know, these supports, if these ADCs get caught out by the enemy support's CC, they are going to feel a lot of hurt. Now, as I was saying before, young Pandog has to prioritize magic resist in that top lane, which is something that you know, if Liban Jack gets rolling down in the bot lane, he will do a ton of damage to that Darius. Not something that you want to really do when your front line is going to get shredded in team fights.
And as a Darius, you're supposed to be the lane bully. You're supposed to be the one putting on the pressure, maybe even building an early damage item, and then going into the tank. Going right into that Banshee's Veil is going to set the Darius behind a ton in damage and pressure.
Yeah, I would have definitely rather liked to see a Hex Drinker. It might give him some trading potential while giving him the MR that he needs. But again, Spectral Cal is going to be another choice for it. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, that CS advantage is growing for Baylife, surely but slowly. He's already finished that Athene's Unholy Grail, while Versace is only sitting on the Chalice. Should have enough in the bank, though, to finish that once he goes back. But doesn't want to miss out on any of that farm. So they go in.
He's probably waiting for his telly to be up. He's probably just going to keep teleporting to lane right now, just to try to stay even in farm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, thanks to that 2-0 kill advantage that Isaacs has, he's already finished his Morellonomicon as well. Starting to work on that arm guard and that Zhonya's. So he's in a good place right now, sporting not only a kill advantage, but a CS advantage as well on that Darius, definitely bullying him out of lane. Meanwhile, something that we didn't say, that top tower did go down after that gank from Happy. Some trading going back and forth. Down in the bot lane. And it looks like Isaac is roaming down mid, trying to see what they can do for Young Vice. Nice Ice Tomb going on. Shockwave throwing Versailles into Happy. The ultimate is not going to be enough, and they pick up an easy kill under tower. That going over to Happy, as they're going to probably shove that into turret. Meanwhile, Pandog is trying to reply with a turret of his own up in the top lane. Trying to grab all that CS to try to catch up to Isaac. Yanguchi poking around in the mid lane, but I don't think he can stop that double mage push in mid. Meanwhile, Hook does land onto Katajao after binding. Both trading, Katajao falling quite low. Black Shield
You have to be careful, Oriana is coming.
Yeah, meanwhile, Young Gucci is roaming down here as well, as there are Dragon is live and they're posturing. Meanwhile, Young Pandog is doing a lot of damage to that top turret. Mid does fall for Sid. And here it is. They are posturing for that dragon. Both ADCs left to their own devices down bot lane. Nice condemn into the wall as Lebon Jack tries to trade with RC. Flash from RC. Heal pop by Lebon Jack as they are dueling. Double shot will not be enough as RC picks up a kill. But oh my goodness, the ignite. Was that the ignite? Or just minion damage? Both ADCs trade. Meanwhile, we missed it.
Also, Utmost Baylife. I actually was following that fight. Baylife just got too close, was still in the Dragon Pit, as young Versace teleported in and just had nowhere to run. And they just tracked her down with Galio's slows and speed boosts.
Yeah, so ADC's trade kills, but that is going to be a second dragon going over in favor of Sid. Unfortunately, just not on the same page. If they had Lebon Jack with them in the Dragon Pit, that could have gone totally different. But yeah, in the end though, VK is going to be ahead in towers.
And actually, Darius is now bullying Lissandra out of lane. The extra MR has just been enough to keep him sustained up in these skirmishes, and with no armor fully built, or just the cloth armor on Isaac, Darius is just doing a bit too much damage to trade with right now.
Yeah, Darius does have some high bases, and you can't underestimate that bleed damage. It is something that scales quite well, and it's enough to win out duels. But they are that kind of time bomb is slowly ticking, considering the fact that Sid is up 2 dragons. Honestly, VK misplayed that second dragon. They could have easily contested that. They are quite a bit stronger, as Lebon is already finished that Infinity Edge. A lot stronger than the Blade of the Ruined King, in my opinion. When it comes to team fighting, Katajao is condemned at the wall. They're trying to trade out. Culling will come out to push them out of lane. Meanwhile, Happy will catch out Young Gucci. Bite goes down. Darius is not able to help him. Meanwhile, at the bot lane, they do go all in, and it's going to be a double kill for Lebon Jack. I don't see this as they get tower as well. Meanwhile, Young Gucci does manage to get away.
Yeah, he lived.
So a little bit of a misplay, and the fact that Isaac didn't push out his lane means that they do not have they do not have creeps to siege that set T2 up at the top lane. But some deep wards going down. Versace getting caught out by Happy. Baylife and nice Galio ulti will come and doing a ton of damage, but it's not enough, as Happy will pick up the kill onto Versace. Now they need to get out of here as Young Pandog flashes over the wall, does not get anything for his trouble. A little bit over eager there on Pandog's side.
And a slight misplay from Darius. He had a chance to build up his bleed stacks, which causes his ult to do more damage, and he just popped the ult way too early. While they were all stunned in Galio's ult, he could have been autoing, he could have been queuing, he could have been applying those bleed stacks. Instead, he just started ulting right off the bat, hoping it'd be enough to execute, and it just didn't do the damage.
Yeah, and with the reset as well, he could have easily gotten a triple kill for himself, but unfortunately, yeah, just a little bit of a misplay on his part. So, taking a look for item builds wise, we finally got that Arm God finish on Isaac, a nice 202 up in the top lane. Banshee's finished for Pandog. Nice black shield for Katajou, actually, blocking that hook. Was kind of caught, is the only one in mid lane right now. His team nowhere near. But honestly, I think it's the story of Lebon Jack picking up that double kill was huge for him, sitting on an Infinity Edge, and Azil already showed that he can duel Erzi, even with that Blade of the Ruined King. Not something that you know, a Vayne really wants to see. You kind of want to be able to split push, get that free farm, and duel anyone that comes to stop you. But Erzi not at that place yet. Panda doing a bit of damage, but Happy is there to help Isaac. Nice Ice Tomb going to Pandog, and that's going to be another easy kill going to over to Happy. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Binding lands on Versailles, and he has nowhere to go. Can't click on the lantern. And another kill going on to Lebon Jack as they push this mid T2 tower. Again, Erzi and Young Gucci nowhere near to help defend, finally coming in, but Happy is now joining the fray in mid lane. And
something
this,
that could something that could be an issue is go ahead.
It's one of the things that I was worried about was the fact that Sid doesn't have that good of a wave clear, and
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
yeah, they are going to be able to. Nice shockwave coming out from Young Bay Life. They answer with a Galio ulti. Does not that much damage, but here comes the follow up with Katajo. Nice soul shackles. Pandog is going on to Katajo, and he will pay with his life, but a double kill going over to Isaac. And VK wins out that trade. They should be able to easily grab this T2 tower, if not more. Pandog overextending. Pays for it with his life. Erzi needs to back up. Ice Tomb will pick up the kill, and that is going to be an ace for VK. A little bit of a misplay from Pandog and Erzi, thinking that the dives weren't coming. They once a double kill for Isaac happened, they just needed to back off. Considering the fact that they do have Dragon Timer, and with that loss, it's going to be a free Dragon going over to VK. I don't see them getting stopped on this one. So first Dragon going to be on the board. But Young Gucci's actually here, going to try to contest this. Katajo is full health, and they do have Lebon Jack. He is but he does so much damage. That Infinity Edge doing work for him. And the ulti from Young Gucci not quite enough to finish it off. And as I said, finally VK on the board with a Dragon. Now 1-2.
Well, there's a 3,000 gold lead in the bot lane right now for Lucian over Vayne.
Yeah, Lucian is absolutely huge right now. Lebon Jack doing a ton of work for his team. But honestly, I think it has to be mentioned the fact that Happy has done quite a good job pressuring, top and bottom bringing a lot more impact than Young Gucci. Nunu has not really impacted the game in any substantial way for his team.
See, I'd like to see a Sightstone second item on a Nunu, but he's right now building into a Morello's.
Yeah, but Katajo actually getting caught out. Nice shield coming out from Baylife, but at this point of the game, even with them being far ahead, always bring a buddy when you're warding that deep. Unfortunately, Katajo does get caught out. But I definitely agree with you. Young Gucci on a Nunu, I definitely like that Sightstone. As Nunu, it's very hard to kind of build any kind of AP. You're more there for utility and counter jungle pressure. You should, Nunu is one of those junglers that is quite strong, but his playstyle has definitely changed from what it used to be. I would have loved Young Hundreds to roam with his Nunu, right? Get a good, solid gank. Easy hooks will be landed once that slow is applied from Young Gucci, but Young Hundreds had to babysit Erzi in the bot lane because there was just so much pressure coming in from Katajo and Lebon Jack. So a little bit of a weird pick. Not really. Young Hundreds going in deep though, has to flash out. Culling blocked out from Young Gucci, but he falls really low. He's not tanky at all. Isaac will flash in. Ice Tomb on Young Gucci, slowing down everything. But nice Sonya's coming out from Isaac will stop the trade, and it looks like their Baylife will pick himself up a double kill. A little bit of a weird team fight. I think Isaac was trying to force the issue a little too much, but VK is so far ahead that they can just brute force their way into these team fights.
Young Hundred took a weird hook, and he hooked Isaac and went in and followed up with no one really around, and had to flash out, leaving his team in a very, very tough spot to fight.
Yeah, and just like that, with that team fight, it looks like VK is going to pick themselves up a Baron for free. No vision for Sid on that Baron pit whatsoever. But as you can see just on the map, VK has done a great job warding Sid's jungle. They got a lot of deep wards. Meanwhile, Sid is totally blind on the map on anything past the river. And that's really where that second sightstone would have been a tremendous amount of help. Helping.
And there's only one sweeper as well on the side of Sid. I like to see the sweepers come out in the bot lane and the mid lane. I can see the young Versace picked up a upgraded stealth totem, but you should rely on, I said, you should be relying on your jungler and your support for the wards and picking up a way to clear vision in your jungle instead of place it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, over on the side of VK, all their trinkets are upgraded. So just so much vision available to them at all. Warmogs finished on happy on that Trundle. Interesting pickup with that mixed damage. Vayne should be doing a lot onto with that Blade of the Ruined King, but she is just so far behind considering compared to Liban Jack, mind you. Now the siege is happening, and this is what we were talking about earlier. The lack of wave clear coming out from Sid is going to definitely hurt them. And Erzi is going to pick up trying a building towards a Phantom Dancer instead of a Static Shiv. It would probably help their wave clear a little bit. That Baroned up Siege Minion doing work for VK right now. Meanwhile, Isaac is smartly bringing that Baron buff to another lane, pushing that top. And it looks like VK is making sure that all three lanes are shoving. Isaac gets caught by a hook. They will go. Nice condemn for Isaac, but the Ice Tomb just before Erzi. Isaac trying to duel it out. The Zonius is going to keep him alive just a little bit longer, but it's lights out. Shutdown actually goes to young Gucci. Probably not the person that you want that gold on. Could have left it for his ADC. But another, the last T2 going to fall for VK.
Someone auto it. Someone auto it. There you go.
There it is. Orianna finally fishes off. But yeah, no, with such a commanding gold lead, it's 16k? Am I doing math right? Never do math on live stream. You'll
15.
But yeah, 15k, 15k. Oh wow, 3-man shockwave from Baylife is forced to flash out because he gets caught, but the TP coming in from Isaac. Nice Galio ulti will suppress them a little bit, but he might pay for his life. And there it is, VK collapse onto Sid as they just chase them down. Another double kill coming out for Utmost Baylife. Liban Jack getting pulled into the base, but that just means that he can get his autos out. And with the wave coming, they should get that inhib tower. Picking it up for themselves. Death timers are still so as we're only, 28 minutes into the game, but that's they are going to press their advantage. They are just so far ahead of Sid. Going to smartly back, not wanting to push their advantage too much in this, but Dragon is spawned now, going to pick themselves up their second Dragon, tying it up with Sid. Unfortunately, Sid gave up their only advantage in this game as when they were 2-0 in Dragons, taking that bad fight mid. Liban Jack is absolutely huge on that Lucian. 8-1 and 8, sitting on an Infinity Edge, and Static Shiv working towards that Bloodthirster. That Overshield going to help them. Meanwhile, Galio is just a full item behind on his counterpart,
and
Orianna.
No damage.
Yeah, forced to buy that Spirit Visage, which is highly unfortunate. They are just hoping that Erzi can get to that late game, and they do have a lot of peel for their Vayne, but I doubt that VK is going to let them get to that point. Meanwhile, as they say that, Erzi actually gets caught out of the Pillar of Filth. Happy flashes in, getting a little too happy. Overextending just a bit, but the shields are huge coming out from VK as they chase down Sid in the mid lane. Isaac actually going in deep. Ice Tombs himself in the middle of Sid. Meanwhile, Happy is going to go up top. Nice ulti coming out from Gucci, but he just doesn't have the damage. Ulti from Galio cancelled with a nice shockwave from Baylife, and VK is just cleaning house right now. Young Gucci gets a triple kill, surprisingly, but I don't. At what cost? As Outmost Baylife and Limon Jack are going to grab the second inhib for VK. With only Young Gucci to defend, though. They might
can actually push this.
Yeah, they might just be able to end with such a commanding lead. Limon Jack, I don't think is scared of anyone. Yeah, the supers are here now. And it looks like, oh, the damage coming from Limon Jack is going to be huge. Hook lands, but he's just going to duel it out. Not wanting to get caught, but yeah, he's going to pay the price. Pandog drops really low. A triple for Limon Jack almost in the works there.
They do get the one tower. Next team fight, if it's anywhere near Sid's base, would be the game.
Yeah, and Outmost Baylife smartly pushing that top lane. It is going to be the last lane that still has a tower in it. Just making sure to push, I guess, Sid to rotate top while two lanes of super minions walk into their base. Baron has spawned now, and it looks like Happy is already there ahead of his team. They're just going to pick this up and finish the game. There's, almost nothing Sid can do. And I hate calling games early, but at this point, it's only a formality. The VK is going to put this away. I doubt that they are going to make such a heavy mistake, especially with how solidly they're playing this first game. So, in your opinion, was this just a bad picks and bans for Sid? Because they did not play horribly, but I just feel that their champions limited them in the matchups. Especially in that top lane, started snowballing quite drastically for Isaac.
Yeah, as soon as Darius falls behind in lane, he almost is a non-factor in the game. He is very front-loaded early game. Great shockwave while we're...
Yeah, great shockwave from Ori cancelling that Young Gucci's and Versailles ulti. Another double kill for Baylife. A triple kill for Katajo on that support Morgana. As I said, 33 minutes into the game. VK puts it away. Game 1.